Hello, Ubong. Good evening. Please kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, great. All right, great. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever it is you're joining us from. You're welcome to another 10Alytics masterclass. And by virtue of you being here, you've automatically joined our community of learners. As my colleague Isusa will say, it says 10Alytics is Santa Claus. And Isusa will be driving this session with me. 10Alytics is Santa Claus. And by virtue of you being with 10Alytics, that is Santa Claus. You know, when you're going to visit Santa Claus in real time, you go along with your backpack, you go along with your bag, put them right into your bags. So what you want to do in this session today, you want to ensure that you have your pen, because 10Alytics is that Santa Claus for you. And we are going to be dishing out a lot of insights, a lot of knowledge, anything tech. We are going to be dishing it out today. So you want to ensure that you have your notepad and you have your pen, because 10Alytics as a Santa Claus, we will be dishing out a lot of knowledge to you, and you want to, jot all of that down. So yes, you are in for a ride. Welcome officially once again. If you know anyone that this session is going to be beneficial to, whether your husband, your wife, your sister, your brother, I mean, anybody at all. Everybody wants to get into tech, and the person has been procrastinating. I want to get into tech. I want to get into tech. Eat them up, let them know that 10Alytics is having a masterclass today, and they don't want to miss this one because it is packed with so much. It is packed with so much, and you're in for a ride. So yeah, the person you're seeing on your screen is Sofiat. My name is Sofiat Adeyoju, and I am a data associate with 10Alytics. And one thing I really like about virtual events is the fact that you get to network, you get to meet diverse people, you get to meet a range of people. I know right now in this session, I'm currently in Nigeria. I know I have people from the UK, from the US, from Canada. I have a lot of people joining us here. So yes, you want to put in the chat box your name, where you're joining from. And if it's your first time joining our session, you want to put a 1. If it's the second time, you want to put it 2. Just let me know you. So please put that in the chat box while I share my screen. Okay. Hello, Isusa. Please kindly confirm my screen is up now.
Yes, well, we can see your screen. You can also put it in slideshow.
Okay, great. Let me do just that. All right. I've done that. Okay, so yes, I have not seen anyone introduce themselves in the chat box. Let me see. I have no one yet. Okay, I can see Tayo Abisola. She says, I am Comfort from the UK, first time joining. It's good to have you here, Tayo. Trust me, you're in for a ride. You're going to enjoy every bit of your time here. Okay. Tana Isosa said it's the second time here. Okay, great. Okay. Let's just get right into it. My colleagues are dropping the attendance, they're going to be dropping the attendance form in the chat box. So you want to fill it so you get access to the resources and the recording of this session. So please do well to fill it. Okay, I see more people turning up in the chat box. I can see Ebele from USA joining the second time. Okay, I can see Franca from US. I can see Mervyn Bird from Sierra Leone, and is joining for the first time. I can see Nomsembo from the US, first time joining the community. Okay, great. It's good to have everyone on here, whether you're joining for the first time, for the second time, for the third time. As I said earlier, 10Alytics is Santa Claus, as Isosa would always say. You're going to enjoy every bit of it here. It's going to be a very, very knowledge-packed session. So you know what? Let's get right into it. Let me go back to my screen. Okay. Hello, Isusa. Please, can you still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. It's not coming up here. I can't see it on my own screen. That's very...
Okay, maybe maybe you want to stop sharing and then we share, and let's see.
Let's do that. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, my screen is up now. So welcome everybody. This is another 10Alytics masterclass, and what we are doing today is team projects I've worked on within 3 months of my training at 10Alytics. So we have our participants from different programs, from the HR analytics program, from the cybersecurity program, and also from the financial analytics program. And we had them join us today, showing us what they've been up to, while they've been with us. So just to confirm that we have all our participants with us. Hi, Adiola, please, are you there? Hello, Adiola, are you there? Okay. Do we have Mary with us? Okay. You know what? Let me just get right into my presentation while we await my participants. Okay, so the next thing I have here is about 10Alytics. And one thing I love to do when I come on here and I do things like this, I love to tell you that 10Alytics is that place that you get to when you're curious. 10Alytics is the curiosity before the capability. Do you understand? So you're curious, okay, what is all this about? What is this about? It is basically you being curious. And by the time you get to join us, you will definitely be capable. You know what exactly you're here for. So we are a leading educational technology company, and we provide specialized training in technology skills and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. So 10Alytics was not just a spur of the moment, it was a data-driven decision. And over the past 4 years, we've been building talent for the technology workforce. We've helped over 2,855 people transition from the classroom into their first job. Yes, you heard me right, from the classroom right into their first jobs. And it's not just in Africa. We do this globally across the UK, the US, Canada, Europe, Africa, and Asia. So yes, if you're a Black person, you're wondering, oh, how do I get into tech? Oh, they all say, oh, tech money, tech money. How do I get into it? So 10Alytics, that is what we do here at 10Alytics. We help you get into tech. We help you with the skills that you need to excel in the technological field. And we are committed to making the technology sector more accessible through premium experiential training in different courses. We have data analytics, we have business analysis, we have data engineering, we have data science, we have financial analytics, we have HR analytics, we have project management, we have cybersecurity, and we have AI engineering. Leading global companies like Apple, from Microsoft, from McKinsey, from Amazon. There are people that they work in this field. They have the real-time experience, training you from their own experience. Do you understand? So they bring in a well-teaching, practical learning experience that ensures that you receive the premium value from your investment in your future. So moving on to the next slide, we have my colleague here with us, Isosa. Isosa is a seasoned technology professional, and he has a diverse experience spanning across data analytics, AI engineering. Isosa is the lead in charge of training and operations at 10Alytics, and he has cultivated a rich background in various roles, not just in data analysis, not just in business analysis. He also has a rich background in power platform engineering. And Isosa has worked with companies across, and currently Isosa operates as a consultant and freelancer, and he has actively contributed to digital transformation initiatives. Isosa has personally trained over 2,500 participants, and this has helped him further solidify their expertise in the various fields that they have. So moving forward to the next slide, here is me. I'm the one facilitating, driving this session, and my name is Adenyoju Sofiat, and I'm a passionate educator, and I have a background in product management, end-to-end administration, and agile project management. I have close to half a decade years of experience in the world of technology and management. And as a data associate for the Agile Project Management and Scrum Master program at 10Alytics, I've been very instrumental in helping individuals navigate the complex tech client space and guiding them to success by onboarding them into their respective data-driven paths. And I've been providing support anywhere they need it, just to ensure that they get their dream job, they get that well-paying job they've always had that dream about. And I have a strong commitment to career transformation. I've successfully onboarded and mentored over 200 individuals, and I've helped them transition seamlessly into tech and secure meaningful job opportunities. So that's that about me. Let's get right into the business of today. Okay, so we have we can see 4 different parts here. It's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 3, it's not 4. And what is this about? Why are we here today? We are here to show you what our students have worked on during their stay here at 10Alytics, what they've been up to, what they've been doing, the projects that they've worked on, the things that they've gotten their hands onto. They've gotten their hands dirty, working on real life projects, working on real life case scenarios. And so we'll be listening to our students while they walk us through the projects that they've worked on. And after doing that, what do? We let you know the in-demand tech skills and which one suits you, which one speaks to your need. So, we let you know that, we guide you through, we tell you everything, that all the programs that we've selectively handpicked, we tell you how they speak to your need. We tell you the one that actually suits you and the one that you can excel in due to your background and what you're currently doing, the one you can, transfer your skills into. And after learning, what next? I mean, you're not just learning, you want to land that dream role. There's a dream in line. So after learning, what next? We share you success stories. Our participants that have been like you, they just joined the masterclass one of those days, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and where they are now, we share you those success stories. And as I said earlier, in Isosa's words, we have a special discount offer to you as Santa Claus that we had, So yes, let's get right into the business of today, which is the project showcase session proper. Please, can we confirm we have all our participants here? Hello, Mary Obadoni from the cybersecurity track. Are you here? Hi, Mary. Okay, we have Mabel and Adiola ready. Oh, I can see that now. Okay, great. Hi, Mabel. Please unmute and please turn on your camera. Let us see your beautiful face. Okay, Mary is having difficulty unmuting. Okay, let's go forth with Mabel or Adiola, because I just called on Mabel and I'm here. Okay, Mabel, you're here. Kindly unmute and so good to have you here. You look very beautiful.
Thank you so much.
All right, great. Okay, so Mabel, you joined the what cohort and what program are you currently enrolled in at 10Alytics?
As course for February 2025,
Okay.
with the program Financial Analytics.
Okay, great. Our woman in tech. It's so good to have you here today. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
let me just, let me pass the baton to you and just, do the magic. Show us what you've been up to.
Okay. So I'll be sharing my screen. All right, thank you so much.
All right.
I'll share my screen so you see what I've been up to. Just one of it. So if you can hear me and you can see my screen, please let me know.
Yes, Mabel, I can see your screen and I can hear you. You're very loud and clear. So you have 10 minutes.
All right, so I've been working on this project. I can no longer see my screen. Okay. Okay.
I can still see your screen, Mabel.
Okay, let me get it.
So you want to put it on slideshow?
Yes.
It's off now. Okay, you're sharing now.
All right. So I worked on this project basically for this company called, oh my God, why is this going on? Called Tektronix iTech. So the name of the company is Tektronix iTech. We're able to make analysis for this company. So what's Tektronix iTech all about? So they are a player in the microchip and robotic industry. They've been encountering challenges in streamlining its sales strategies, optimizing production planning, and pursuing market expansion. The company covers an extensive portfolio that caters to automotive, consumer electronics, and industrial sectors. But it struggles with demand unpredictability, inventory management, inefficiencies, and the identification of profitable market opportunities. So this presentation shows a comprehensive Power BI report that features a dashboard that encapsulates key findings on sales performance, customer insights, and profitability. So that is what this you'll be getting to see from the slides. The very first dashboard you can see here, the data visualization happens to give more emphasis on sales performance. So the data visualization below uncovers sales trends across various product categories, sectors, region, and time frames. And if you can see from the visualization, would notice the total quantity sold is $501,000, while the total revenue so far for Tektronix is $252 million. And you'd also see that product 1384 happens to be the most expensive product to produce and generate the most profits, while robotics generate the highest revenue by product categories. So that's it for the sales analysis. And you'd notice too that the total revenue by month across all 12 months, the total revenue ranges from $18.7 million to $23.1 million. And you'd also notice from the slide that April had the highest total revenue and was 23.87% higher than May. It also had the lowest, May had the lowest total revenue at $18.7 million. So April accounted for 9.18% of total revenue. That's it for the sales analysis, which is clearly saying you can also see the total revenue by country, the countries that are doing fine when it comes to the total revenue. Moving on to the next slide, which is the customer insights. The dashboard here below reviews purchase patterns, preferences by sector, and geographic distribution. So automotive is the customer sectors by total profit, contributing most significantly to sales and profitability. We can see here that in the slide from the dashboard, you notice that automotive has the highest total profit at $20 million, followed by industrial at $16.7 million and consumer electronics at $16.3 million. So automotive accounted for 37.81% of total profits. The next we'll be looking at is the inventory optimization and profitability analysis. So the below chart illustrates inventory management against sales figures to pinpoint production planning mismatches. The dashboard shows the total profit across different product categories, taking into account total sales revenue and production costs. It also shows the top 5 products with high margins by percentage. So what are we looking at here? Looking at the dashboard. Automotive had the highest total profit, like it was in the previous slide, and was 23.15% higher than consumer electronics, which we know the consumer electronics had the lowest total profit at $16.3 million. So the total profit and the total revenue are positively correlated with each other. Automotive accounted for 37.8% in total profits. So looking at the total profit, total revenue, and production cost by customer sector, automotive had $20 million in total profit, $94.7 million in total revenue, and $1.4 million in production costs. While under industrial had $16.7 million in total profit, $75 million in total revenue, and $1.1 million in production costs, followed by the next customer sector, which is the consumer electronics. It had $16.3 million in total profit, $82.5 million in total revenue, and $1.3 million in production costs. Then looking at the average of quantity sold by product category and quarter, robotic happens to have in Q1 made up 8.60% of average of quantity sold. So Q1 has the highest average of quantity sold at 51.68, followed by Q4, Q3, and Q2. That is for the inventory management and profitability. While lastly, the dashboard here under market expansion analysis, we could see that the dashboard analyzes sales and customer data to discover new markets for expansion in North America. While yes, Asia Pacific is doing just fine, which we can also get more expansion to get more sales in that country. But North America is not doing so well. So with the dashboards also make you see the emphasis on the region, sectors, and sectors with untapped potentials. So looking at the total quantity sold and production cost by product category, it shows more marketers are urgently needed with supervision in order for increments in Tektronix sales and revenue. So in conclusion, we've been able to see from the reports, the sales performance analysis, the customer insights, inventory optimization and profitability analysis, then the market expansion opportunities. My recommendation is product 1384 happens to be the most expensive product to produce and generate the most profits. So this should be made available. This product should be made available at all times. Robotics generates the highest revenue by product category, so they should be made available at all times. So looking at the total quantity sold and production cost by product category, it shows more marketers or advertising agencies are urgently needed with supervision in order for increment in Tektronix sales and revenue. Thank you. This is the project I was able to work on in just 3 months.
In less than 3 months, in fact. This is really, really good. Thank you very much for this, Mabel. Thank you. And there's one thing I really, really love. I love the fact that you actually gave a recommendation at the end of the day. So it's not just about, building the dashboards. You gave a recommendation. You had to tell them, okay, this is what we do. This is how we can do this to make this better. Your dashboard was really, really beautiful. Clean layout, the intuitive navigation. You even highlighted the sales by country. That's a very, very great one. Thank you. Thank you very much for this. Thank you. So I'd like to ask you a question before you we move over to the next person. So, thinking back at maybe day one of your program here, did you ever imagine that you'd be able to come up with a dashboard, build a dashboard in 3 months or even less?
I never imagined, because this is totally new for me. Starting off 2025, I was just thinking, what skill do I need to? Okay, I need to upskill. What can I do tech? I've heard that it's difficult. I said, okay, let me try it. Analytics, it will make life easier for me. The truth is, I never imagined I'll be able to do this, build dashboards like this. It's simply amazing. I'm surprised at myself doing this, actually.
I'm absolutely proud of you. I'm absolutely proud of you. This is a very, very great job. This is a very great job. And I'm sure that you'd even be doing more in months to come. Thank you very much for that, Mabel. So you can stop sharing now so we move on to the next person so we do not run out of time. Thank you very much. Hello, Adiola Taiwo. Are you ready for us? Our next woman in tech.
Hello.
Okay, great. You're here with us. I can't see you yet.
I'm sorry, I won't be sharing my face. I'm not in a place where I can share the video, if that's all right.
Oh, all right, no problem at all. No problem at all. The most
I'm
important thing
sorry.
is we see the project done. That's all right, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Perform your magic just like Mabel did.
Yes. Are you seeing my screen? Sorry, are you seeing my screen? What's on? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Oh, okay. How can I make it bigger? Okay. Oh, Christ. Okay, so I'm presenting on electronics innovation, and I'll give a brief overview of the company. It's actually an industry that deals in microchip and robotics. It's a go-to industry for automotive, consumer electronics, and industrial sectors. It's a big company. They know what they're doing and they're good at it, but they have challenges because despite their presence or their strong presence in the market, it is faced with the issue of demand fluctuations, inventory inefficiencies, and all this make it difficult to identify profitable opportunities for growth. And this is actually what they want. They want us to to let them identify how they can expand, they can tackle these challenges. So with the Power BI and with the data they have made available, we have been able to identify, what's causing the problems and what is needed to be done. So what are our objectives? It needs to improve target and customer engagement to boost revenue across sectors. We streamline manufacturing processes, to align output with demand fluctuations. There's no need having excess product when it is not needed. Oh, where is it? Sorry. There's no need having excess product in a region where it is not needed or at a time of the year when it is not needed. So we need to know what to produce and when. We're addressing efficiencies to ensure balanced stock, just like I said, identify and capitalize on growth opportunities. What product is needed where, so we capitalize on such. Utilize transaction records customer interactions, and financial metrics to extract valuable insights for informed decision making. All these are what we need to achieve what I have mentioned earlier. We optimize logistics and resource allocation to reduce delays, implement strategies to minimize disruptions, and align production with market demand for sustainable profitability. So these are the objectives, these are the points that guide in my work, or that guided in my work. So I built dashboards, and with the dashboards, we're able to identify. I've been trying to find out how to zoom this dashboard, but I'm sorry. I hope we can manage to see a bit. So from this dashboard that analyzes the sales, Tektronix sales, we understand that it sells about 501,000 quantity of goods, and it generates 252 million, and the production cost, it costs 4 million to produce this product, and the revenue generated is 252 million, with a profit of $53 million. Now, breaking down or working with the data, we discovered that some products are doing well in terms of sales, or in terms of sales per month, or per country, per region. So we have this, for example, and we could see that the product 1100 is, now let me use figures, generating $393 million. The production cost is over 40. We can see from the dashboard what it costs to produce is the most expensive to produce, right? And it's not the most, it brings in the least revenue. Whereas we have the product 1315 costing less to produce and bringing such over $705,000, $0.7 million in revenue. So products like this, we understand that if it's costing us so much to produce, why are we, and it's bringing in less revenue, we need to look at it. Why are we focusing on it? Do we need to focus on something else that brings in more revenue? This is what we could generate from the dashboard. Then looking at the line charts, the first quarter, or let's say January, in January, we see that things they're doing well, but then there's a sharp descent in February, and then it picks up again sharply in April and drops again in May. And we could see the trend like that till December. What's going on around February and May? Why do we have such low profit at this, or revenue at this period? And then what happens in May? What happens in August? These are the things that should be looked into. These are the things that we're able to bring out with the dashboard. Then we have this dashboard that focuses on customer insights. What response are we getting from customers in particular region, or from particular product categories, or in different countries? How are they responding to what the company sells or what the company is producing? And we will see that we have three major categories. We have the microchip, we have the robotics, and we have the sensor. The microchip is giving 97.4 million in revenue, and robotics is giving 79.2 million, and sensor is giving 75.7 million, all in revenue. There's a sharp gap between microchip Then robotics and sensor there's a little competition between the two, but microchip stands out. Geographically, the USA leads with 17.4 million in revenue and is followed closely by China, Japan, and then USA. In the US, the industrial sector is the top contributor, 6.7 million, and the automotive is 5. Sometimes this revenue, this sale, they are close, and sometimes they're just, the distance is far. Why? What's going on? These are the things that dashboard is helping us to bring out. We have the regional perspective. Europe brings 2.4 million, Asia Pacific 2.1 million, and North America 2.1. These figures suggest a relatively balanced regional impact, just like I said. The dashboard underscores the importance of maintaining the momentum in high-performing areas. Focus on where we have high revenue, high response from customers, so that when they need these things, they are available to them. Then we have the inventory management and profitability dashboard. The industrial sector leads with highest total profit of 20 million. Now, let's not even, looking at the dashboard alone, look at the table, this table. Product 1478 in the first quarter has 75% in revenue. And then there's a terrible thing going on in the third quarter where we have minus 56%. It is not good, even though it ends at, with 74%. We know that with what's going on in the first quarter and the fourth quarter, if this minus does not exist in the third quarter, there is hope totally for, better than 47%. So it's a product that needs serious attention. The microchips and robotics show a similar pattern in dips in second quarter and third quarter. They always seem to recover. Most of them seem to recover at the fourth quarter. Third quarter, it's not doing well. Some are not doing well during the fourth quarter. So each product has a way they perform in the first quarter or in different quarters. It's important to understand why this is happening. The line graph depicts an average profit. There seems to be a good relationship between these two line graphs. When sales are low, profits are low. So we understand why profits are low is because sales are low. So it's fair. Sometimes when profits, from what we have learned so far, sometimes sales are high and profits are low. That means there's probably an internal problem. But here we see that when the second quarter, things are not doing well. The third quarter, things are not doing well. But at fourth and first quarter, it's relatively high. Then the last is the dashboard that focuses on expansion. How can the company grow? What products are we doing? Are we going to increase production on? What region or country are we going to focus more on? This dashboard offers a detailed analysis of the industry's performance across product categories, regions, and transactions. The total quantity sold includes microchip 0.19 million, robotics 0.16 million, and sensor 0.15 million. And the production cost, we have microchip at 1.53 million. We have robotics. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so
I know you can go now.
The data highlights opportunities for improvement. So we have to refine production costs and focus efforts on high-performing regions so that we don't go on to repeat what we have said before. Let's look at recommendations with all that we have discovered. The company needs to optimize costs for high production expense products and maintain profit margins, which involves reducing inefficiencies and improving processes without compromising profitability. They need to enhance market strategies, which requires focusing efforts on regions with strong performances while identifying opportunities for growth in underperforming areas. They refine inventory planning, which involves aligning stock levels with seasonal demands, like February, like what happens in May or what happens in August. We need to understand if we need to improve, if they need to improve advertisements about, around that time, or what the weather, how the weather affects. All this needs to be looked into and investigate. Yeah, I've said that, negative performance values, to identify what's causing them and how to tackle it. Thank you. So that's what I've been able to
that
do.
beautiful presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that very beautiful presentation. It was very, very insightful. And one thing that just, kept hammering in my mind was every part of, human resources, financial analytics, you need data. Data would have to speak to your analysis. You need data. So now I saw that project as well, and you went as far as going into the customer insight, going into a very much deep analysis, and that is because you have the data knowledge, and which is very, very good. I mean, what cohort are you currently enrolled in? Hello, Adiola, can you still hear me?
Yes, HR analytics.
Yeah, like what bond did you join with?
February.
And now you're doing this. This is really, really good. I love how you lay out the inventory turnover, the carrying cost, the profit, and all of that. This is very, very good. Because of time, I wouldn't, ask you more questions. This already shows that you are gaining the best of the best here with us at 10. Thank you very much for that. So you can stop sharing your screen so I call on the next person.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, Adiola. Hello, Miriam.
Hello.
Have I stopped sharing?
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Oh, you haven't, Adiola. How are you doing today? Please, Ubong. Hi, Isosa. Please can you confirm you're no longer seeing Adiola's screen? Okay, Adiola, stop sharing now. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Hi, Mary. I'm yet to see you. Okay. Still can't see you yet.
Really?
Now, hi, Mary.
Hi.
I can see you now. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing today?
Very well as well. Thank you for asking. Oh, great. It's good to have a woman in cybersecurity. I mean, that's cybersecurity that everyone's saying, cybersecurity. So good to have a woman in cybersecurity. So what course are you currently enrolling with the cybersecurity program?
Right. So I'm currently in the February cohort. That's February 2025.
Great. Okay, so just perform your magic. Let me hand it over to you. Please go ahead and share your screen.
Just 1 second. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
It's not up on my hand yet.
Okay. I think it should come through now.
Oh, yes, I can now.
Okay, lovely.
All right. So you have
yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Obaduni, and I'm part of the Cybersecurity February cohort 2025. And I'm just going to walk you through my project, one of the projects I've done with 10Alytics. It's just a threat detection and incident response. And I've just used a couple of cybersecurity tools like Wireshark, pfSense, and Waso. So I'll be as quick as I can. Just a summary of what the project was. So we worked with a company called Socratech. It's a fictional company anyway, because we're just simulating what it's like detecting, analyzing, and responding to attacks within Socratech's environment. So essentially, Socratek has observed malicious attacks or malicious traffics. And with the SOC team, what we needed to do was we just needed to analyze these threats to identify if these threats are suspicious or malicious. And then if they were, we will just create policies or create blocks using our firewalls that would just prevent these attacks. So that was essentially what we did, or what I did with this project. In order to execute this, it was done in 3 phases, because the first stage was essentially getting or analyzing the network packets with Wireshark. Okay, and then the next was just using pfSense. pfSense is a firewall, and Snort is a service in pfSense. So I used Snort to essentially implement my firewall and IDS. IDS is intrusion detection system, to essentially detect and block any malicious traffic. Wazor is a CM tool. So CM essentially is a tool that you use to collect and centralize data from different networks. So Wazor is my CM tool, and that essentially acted as my alert, and just to centralize what I have done so far. So each tool that I had in phase 1, Wireshark was just capturing those suspicious traffic. I will show you a brief screenshot of what was malicious. With pfSense, it was the firewall that would essentially act as, like the name is, it's firewall. So it would act like a block to prevent any attacks on the organization system. And then Wazor will be the host-based alerting, and then correlating those alerts with what I got with Snort. So in phase 1, the objective is pretty simple. I had to just capture and analyze any suspicious network behavior. Of course, in an organization, there will be several network traffic. So you have to, as a SOC analyst, pick which is suspicious, which is malicious, which would be a potential attack to the organization. So I filtered with HTTP, DNS, and SSH. So after analyzing, I found out that there were several login attempts with a failed credential. So obviously, if you see any fake password or trials, fake credentials, that is what we call a brute force attack. So I noticed all of that. I also noticed suspicious GET request. So GET request would be a means of an attacker or a malicious attack to download essential files. Okay, so that is something that can be looked at as a suspicious or malicious attack. All of these, this is just a screenshot just for you to understand. So this is Wireshark. So these are, if you look at this, you can see, I'm just going to use my mouse. You can see that this is several traffics to a streaming service. So this would mean that this is a GET request where someone is obviously trying to get like information or get like data, downloading those data. Also down here, you can see multiple logins, which is obviously suspicious. Multiple logins with fake credentials, which obviously means someone is trying to have an unauthorized access. So with all of that, after analyzing that, it obviously means that there is an attack somewhere. So it brings me to phase 2, which is the pfSense firewall configuration. So in phase 2, the objective was pretty simple. It was just to detect and block any malicious traffic. The malicious traffic we identified in phase 1 with our Wireshark. And I was able to do the detection and prevention, that's all IDS and IPS configurations, and then firewall rules, and also threat intelligence. So following the suspicious traffic captured in phase 1, which is like the login attempts and the DNS queries, this phase was just to create those rules and then protect the system, because as a SOC analyst, as a cybersecurity analyst, this is what you need to do. So in configuring the firewall, so because it's not a real attack, we're essentially simulating for this project, I had to use real world like brute force attacks like Hydra and Medusa to essentially attack. And before I did that, I configured my Snort. Like I said, Snort is a service in pfSense. I configured my Snort to essentially block any of these attacks. And I also configured my one rule to block any external SSH access. In order to do that, I just took my Kali. I feel like I'm going into too much details, but my Kali is also a Linux tool. I had to take that off my internal network to do that. So I also blocked some high-risk regions. There's some countries that are high-risk regions. So I just blocked that in my firewall in case any of these attacks were coming from those high-risk regions. Also ransomware like Blockbit. From my findings, Snot detected these brute force attack. The logs were also shown on PFSense. I'll just show you a little, yeah. So this is it. This is just a screenshot of what my firewall was doing. This is a real life, this is like a real life situation, a real world based scenario, because if there's any attack, essentially your Snot will show you stuff like this, that there's a potentially bad traffic. It will give you the source IP and the destination IP as well. Then for phase 3, this is why I use my SAM tool. WASO was just simply to detect and respond to the host-based security events. So WASO would always give you alerts on general things going on with your network. So in this case, I had to relaunch a brute force attack while I had my WASO and my Snot active to monitor the environment. So my goal there was just to essentially have like a layered monitoring, just to see that my WASO, being a CM tool, and my firewall can simultaneously see this attack in real time, which is essential for as a cybersecurity analyst. So what I did was to install my WASO agent on Ubuntu. It's also a Linux tool. And then I just ran a command that would allow me detect any SSH login or any privilege escalation. Privilege escalation just refers to like any failed credentials, anyone trying to use like fake passwords, fake logins, all those guessings and stuff. What I did was then to just simulate it. Like I said, this is simulation. So I simulated using this command and then entered multiple passwords, just wrong passwords, just to see if my WASO was going to pick that up. Okay, and from what I saw that my WASO agent detected this, and it was caught by both WASO and Snot in my firewall, and that actually confirmed the layered monitoring. So there are frameworks that we use, and from what I saw, WASO put this under the T110 brute force attack. This is just a real life alert that you will get if you're using WASO as a SOC analyst or as a cybersecurity analyst. Essentially, this is what you would see. So you can see here that it says that there was an authentication. You can see it says brute force. You can see it gives the rule, which is T110. And so yeah, so for my findings and impact, I was able to detect the brute force login attempt. I was able to contain them. I was able to eradicate it by obviously blocking it. I was also able to recover, but in this case, there was nothing that was actually no full breach. So nothing happened essentially, but yeah, we're able to recover. So I took evidence screenshots, like you can see, because all of this was necessary or will be necessary for your report. Because as a cybersecurity person, you would essentially keep having reports, because you need to give all of that to audit and management. So these are my recommendations. It will be important for the organization to train employees. Very important. It's important for employees to also have strong password policies and regular user reviews. It's important to have email alerting and log backup retention policies. It's also important to use WASO and Snot. It's also important to expand on threat intelligence feeds, just about ransomwares, malwares that might come through to an organization. And it's also important to just review the MITRE mapping. So MITRE is like a technique of brute force. So it's essential to understand the new ways, because attackers will always change their methods. So I'd say in conclusion, what this project has done for me is just giving me like a realistic view on how a SOC environment actually works. Because I mean, for someone like me, I had no background in tech, but after doing this, I really had like first-hand experience on what like a SOC analyst actually will do in a situation like this where they are being attacked. I was able to use real cybersecurity tools like Wireshark, PFSense, and WASO, and I think this experience was really, really great. So I will be ending here, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary. I mean, you could go on and on. Thank you very, very much for that very insightful one. And Mary was not gatekeeping at all. I had a number of questions in my book, but we are far past time. You are in-house, so I can always reach out to you, to answer this question. And if you need more, we have seasoned facilitators, because Mary is an evidence. We have seasoned facilitators that have taught her. That is why she's dishing out this much to you. So you want to join us so you can ask Mary these questions, our in-house season facilitators. Thank you very much, Mary. That was very, very interesting and insightful. Thank you very much. So that brings us to the end of on to the next stage. Yes, the kind of tech skill that speaks to your need. You've seen the HR analytics, you've seen financial analytics, you've seen cybersecurity. So now, which one speaks to your need? So at this junction, I'll be handing over to my colleague, Isosa. Hi, Isosa, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Sophia. And it's been a great one. I've had fun. I've learned a lot, even with my years and years of experience. I can say for a fact that I've actually learned from being in the session today. The work that everyone has done, fantastic work from Mary to Mabel to Adiola, absolutely fantastic. And that is what you get when you are part of 10Alytics. Something that you would have heard them say, something that I'm sure you've not forgotten. And I'm talking to each and every one of you on the call, from Adeyemi to Ajoka to Amaka to Babs to Dave to Ebele to Irma to Irabo, Mrs. Irabo, okay, to Nike or Nike. Is that Nike? Nike? Is that the brand? Who knows? To Ola, to Omolara, to Philemo, to every one of you, right? It's for you. You had them say that they had no experience in tech, none whatsoever, when they actually got into the program just 2 months, 3 months ago, and they've been able to do a lot, and there's even more to come because they're just getting started. That's something I can tell you. And so when in 4 months, 5 months, it's going to be even more than this. Okay, it's going to be even more than this. So I've had an amazing time, and I'm sure that we have as well. But something that we have to understand, something that is one of the reasons that we're on the call at the moment, though, is we want to also be able to take a look at how we can become like Mabel, how we can get the skills like Mabel, how we can get the skills like Mary, how we can get the skills like Adiola. And we want to be able to do all of those things. And so, which path should we select? Because we took a look at financial analytics, we took a look at cybersecurity, we took a look at HR analytics, and we took a look at all of those things. But which path should you be looking at getting into? Should you get into cybersecurity? Should you get into business analysis? Although we did not take a look at any business analysis projects due to time, okay? But you might be wondering, which should I go for? A, B, or C, or maybe even D? That is what we're going to be taking a look at right now. We're going to help you choose. So you don't know what career path to go for, no problem. Just stay put, stay with me. Get a cup of coffee, get a glass of juice, okay? Whatever ticks your fancy, and just listen to me. Ask your questions, and we will decide on the right path for you. I'm Aisha Balaho, and I'm going to be taking you through this in the next couple of minutes, okay? So stay with me. The very first thing that we have to understand, as my colleague mentioned, she mentioned this about 3 times, 4 times, maybe even 5 times. She said that Aisha always says that analytics is Santa Claus. And yes, I do say that, guilty as charged. So the reason why I say that is at Analytics, our goal is not just for you to learn the skills. That's not our goal. Our goal is for you to actually be able to transition and get a job. Just like Santa makes the dreams of kids come true. We all know Santa, or Father Christmas, as it's called in some parts of the world. Okay? Just like Santa makes the dream of kids come true. Maybe they want a certain kind of present, they want a certain kind of gift, and it's delivered, all of those things. That is what we do for you. So you have a goal, you have a dream. you have a plan, you have something that you are looking to achieve in the next couple of months, probably before the end of the year. You want to be able to get into a career path of your dreams. You want to be able to transition into tech. You want to leave what you are doing at the moment into something you want to do. Then 10Alytics is here to help you achieve those goals. But for us to be able to help you achieve those goals, there was a lot of research that we actually carried out. Because when we started 10Alytics, we did not just go to bed and wake up and say, okay, why don't we have a program in business analysis? Or why don't we have a program in cybersecurity? No, there was a whole lot that went into play. We had first of all had to carry out our research. Okay, we had to first of all carry out our research. The research was on understanding what roles were in high demand. Okay, what roles were in high demand? What roles were recruiter looking for candidates? What roles were there so many opportunities in tech? Of course, a tech role. What roles are there so many opportunities that each and every person in that particular career can get a slice of the cake? And the way we were able to come across this, the way we were able to decide on the different roles was that the first thing we did was we went ahead to scrape different job boards from LinkedIn to Indeed to Glassdoor, read.co.uk, all of those job boards. And after scraping, we had all of these jobs in the database. So we had all of these jobs in the database. And after getting these jobs in the database, then we went ahead to carry out our analysis. Our analysis was based on two main criteria: from ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high rewarding salary. Ease of learning means a career path that you can get into, that you can go ahead to learn in 6 months, 8 months, 9 months tops, and that you'll be able to get everything you need. You'll be able to get all of the skills you need that we help you transition. A path that you don't need to have some sort of background for you to be able to understand what is being taught. You would agree with me that if you want to be a surgeon today, you have to spend nothing less than at least 10 years of learning. As therefore, you have to go to college, and then you have to go to medical school, you have to become a resident, all of those things before you can become a full-fledged surgeon, right? It takes time. And as adults, when we are looking to transition, when we are looking to do something new, we usually want to go for something that the timeline is as short as possible to learn, so we can start getting the returns that we want to get from whatever it is that we actually learned. Because we have kids, we have a life, we have to do several things. We no longer have the time to spend in learning, more and more and more. Okay, but although, yeah, I understand that might not be the case for everyone. For some of us, we are still looking to get into that career that it takes a long time to learn, and no problem. Okay, that's fine. But for the majority, that's not the case. So you want to pick a career that it's easy for you to learn. Easy for you to learn. And then moving on, we have ease of transitioning. Ease of transitioning is you being able to transition effectively and efficiently into that role. Ease of transitioning actually falls under two categories, or it's divided into two categories. I love to call this ease of transitioning A and ease of transitioning B. Ease of transition in A is saying that you don't need to have some sort of background to be able to get into the space, that you don't need to have studied data science in school for you to work as a data scientist, that you don't need to have a degree in cybersecurity for you to be able to function as a cybersecurity analyst, that you don't need to have studied business management for you to be able to work as a business analyst. You don't need some sort of background for you to be able to transition into the role. So it's easy to transition. And ease of transition in B is talking about the fact that you can actually get into this role. Ease of transition on B is talking about the fact that you can easily get into this role due to the number of opportunities available. That means that if you want to apply to over 50 jobs every day, it's possible due to the plethora of roles available. If you take a look at a role like data analytics, or a role like business analysis, or a role like cybersecurity, all of the different roles, right? You go, let's say you're in the UK, and you can often test this now as we are currently on the call, okay? Because I'm a sticker for facts and figures. So you can test this now while we're on the call. If you're in the UK, go on read.co.uk and search for one of these roles, data analyst roles, HR analyst roles, check for one of these roles. And after you've checked for that, filter, okay? Let's say business analyst role, for instance. Filter for the sites to show you only the roles that were uploaded today. I'm not saying all-time roles, no. Roles uploaded today. And what are you going to see? you would see nothing less than 100 roles that have been uploaded today. It could even be up to 200 at this point. And what that means is that if you want to apply to jobs, you are applying to jobs that you know are still very much open. Sometimes people apply to jobs that were posted 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and you are really not sure if that job is still open, because then you might just be wasting your time in applying. Maybe they've gotten someone, but they forgot to close down the role. But when you have at least 100 new roles uploaded on the site every day, and this is just one job site, you know that there are so many roles available. And how many roles can you possibly apply to in a day? Okay, so because of course, the more you apply, the more chance of you getting the job. So that's ease of transitioning. There's so many opportunities every single day. No, thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs are being available for people in this career path. Ease of transitioning and high rewarding salary. I don't think we need to spend more time talking about the Benjamins, because we all know we want to make cool cash. That's one of the reasons many people are looking to transition. And I think it's a very, very valid reason. Don't let people tell you that, oh, it's that should not be the reason. It's a valid right reason. If all you're looking for is the cash, okay? So it's fine. And of course, these roles also offer fantastic salaries. Now, the roles that actually cover this three features, right? Roles from business analysis to HR project management, data analytics, data scientists, that's data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, financial analytics, and also HR analytics. So if you're looking to get into any of these 8 career paths, you know that it's going to be easy to learn. You know that it's going to be easy to transition into, and you know that it has high and rewarding salary. But we did not stop here, because as a data company, which we are, something that we understand when you're carrying out research, something that we understand when you're carrying out an experiment for your own self, is that there is a tendency to be biased. Maybe then you don't have a large sample size, but there's a tendency to be biased. And so we wanted to take a look at an external body, an external organization that has been able to carry out similar research as to what we've done, to compare results and see if what we found actually correlates, if what we found is actually the truth. And that is how we came across the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum, I'm sure we all know the organization. It's an organization that contains like the top CEOs, people that decide how global economics moves. Okay, and they release a report every 2 years called The Future of Jobs. The Future of Jobs. And what this report shows, it shows roles that we're going to decrease in the number of opportunities available, and it shows those that would increase in the number of opportunities available. Okay, and from that particular publication, for the publication that was released this year, that's in 2025, because it's released every 2 years, what we saw was that in the year 2025, okay, in the year 2025 to 2030, that's a 5-year plan. What we see is that in the next 5 years, we're going to have 170 million jobs that will be created. Okay, stay with me. 170 million jobs will be created in the next 5 years. Next 5 years. 170 million jobs. But also 92 million jobs will disappear. So what would have 170 million jobs that will be created would have 92 million that will disappear. So you want to ensure that you're falling in the place of jobs that will be created and not the other way around. And then what we've seen is that the jobs that will be created, the jobs by the left are those that will increase in terms of demand. That is, we're going to have more jobs being created than lost. And those by the right are those that would have more jobs being destroyed than created, meaning that those roles are actually dying out. And what we'd see is that we have data engineering roles as the big data science specialist, the data warehousing specialist, the data engineers. That means if you want to be a data engineer, you know that there are so many roles that are going to be created. Jobs are not being lost, rather jobs are being created for data engineers. So you know that it's very, very likely you are going to get a job. And then we have the data analyst and scientist looking at the AI and machine learning specialist roles, which of course is a data science role, and then the data analyst and scientist role, which I've just stated out. And then would have the cybersecurity roles. That's where you see the information security analyst, the security specialist, the security management specialist, that's for cybersecurity roles, business analysis, where we see the process automation specialist, so many for data analysts. You'd see you have the data engineers, you'd see you have the agile project managers as well, you'd see you have the business analysts as well. All of those roles, you know that they are very, very high in demand, and that if you actually get into any of this career, the chance of you landing a job is very, very high. Again, this is not 10Alytics report. This is from the World Economics Forum. And the great thing about all of this career path, the great thing about this 8 different career path, is that you don't only get to work as a data analyst if you go ahead to learn about data analytics. You don't only get to work in jobs tied to the HR analyst if you go ahead to learn HR analytics. There are several areas that you can work in because the skill set needed is the skill set that you've been able to get by virtue of you going through that entire program. For data analyst, for instance, you can work as a business intelligence analyst, you can work as a product analyst, you can work as a database administrator stroke analyst, you can work as a sales analyst, and that's the same situation for every other program from data analytics down to agile project managers. And the pay, of course, the pay is great. Okay, the pay is great. Looking at the cybersecurity role, for instance, the cybersecurity role in the UK, the median pay for cybersecurity, remember median. What does median mean? Median means that this is the average. So you're gonna have people that earn above this, significantly above this, and have those that also earn slightly below this. The median role for cybersecurity in the UK, for instance, it's £57,000. In Canada, in Canada, it's 840,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it's 105 US dollars. That's the median, like average pay. And of course, across every other program, sweet watering wages. And there are people that have been able to make the switch. There are people that have been able to transition. Just like the way you've joined a session where you've seen people show you projects that they've been able to work on. That's the way we've also had sessions where people come in to tell you how they're able to get a job. We've been able to help over 2,850 professionals transition from the classroom to getting their first job in tech. Okay, and what that shows is that, like I mentioned earlier, what we define as success is when you've been able to get a job, and we are very, very much successful. From ICMAT that we're able to help transition to get a job as a data analyst after completing our program. We help to transition from a full-time stay-at-home mom to working as a data analyst in the UK, to Ramat that we help transition from being a customer success rep to working as a business analyst in the UK, to Tony that we help transition from being a pharmacist while in Nigeria to being a benefits analyst, to being able to get a job as a benefits analyst after completing a data analytics program, to Busala that will help get a job in Canada as a performance analyst in Desjardins after completing a data analytics program, to Abigail, to so many other testimonials, which I'll get into across all of the different programs. Okay, which I'll get into. So just stay put. We'll go through all that testimonials. People that have been able to get jobs in data science and cybersecurity, in HR, in FA, that's financial analytics, in agile project management, and so on and so forth. But at this point, you are thinking, because I can read minds, don't ask me how, but I'll tell you later, okay? But you are thinking, so what skills do I need to be able to transition? Okay, I want to be a cybersecurity analyst. Oh, I want to be a data analyst. I want to be an agile project manager. What skills do I need? What skills do I need to land jobs in 2025? We just got into the second quarter, so we are still quite early in the year. The skills that you need, first of all, taking a look at the business analyst role. For you to be a business analyst, there are certain things, tools and technologies that you have to know how to use. Tools like your Excel, your SQL, and your Power BI, which would help you give you a flavor of data analytics. Because as a business analyst in the current day and age, you want to ensure that you have a flavor of data analytics. Now, this does not mean that you are actually a data analyst, but this means that you taste like like a taste. Okay, yeah. Sorry for the ice cream analogies, but I'm gonna use an ice cream analogy. It's just like if you when you want to buy ice cream, you go to to the vendor, the ice cream person. I don't know if there's a unique name for them. So you go to the shop and you ask for, oh, I would like a scoop of chocolate. And in addition to the scoop of chocolate, can you also add a scoop of vanilla? Okay, give me a scoop of chocolate and a scoop of vanilla. So you have a chocolate base and you have vanilla. Maybe you can also have some sprinkles of waffles. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so that's the situation, right? So you want to have that's the ice cream you've bought, you have let's chocolate flavor, and then you have like an extra flavor of vanilla. So that is what recruiters are searching for now when it comes to business analyst. So yes, I want a business analyst. I want someone that's going to be able to help me gather requirements, someone that's going to be able to help me map out processes, someone that will be able to help me ensure that the project that we're working on is delivered the way it should be. But I would also like someone that just has an inkling of data analytics. And that's the reason why you learn about your Excel, your SQL, and your Power BI. While it might not be as in-depth as what the data analyst would do and would learn, but you just be able to understand certain things, how you can carry out analysis, build reports, and all those things. And then you move to your Lucid Chat and your Draw.io. Lucid Chat and Draw.io, these are tools that you work with when you're trying to map out processes. Taking a look at an organization's process. Oh, this is the way we are doing things at the moment. How can we move from this point into this point where we are more efficient, where we are more effective, where we are actually making better sales? How can we improve the processes? At the moment, it takes 5 days for an item to be delivered after a customer makes an order. How can we bring that down to 1 day? So process maps usually go with your gap analysis, where you identify the gap for the gap between where the company is and where they want to be. So tools like your Lucid Chart or Draw.io is what you'd actually use in building your process maps. And then you have your Jira, your Confluence, your Trello, your Azure DevOps, all for your Agile and Scrum for project, or your Agile and Scrum for projects. Because as a business analyst, you are going to be working in Scrum teams. So you want to understand how to work with some of the Scrum tools so you are not found lacking. And the time for, of course, you also have ChatGPT for business analysis. You want to learn how you can use AI to improve your efficiency and your productivity as a business analyst. And then the time for the classes are on Saturdays, where you learn from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's for those in the UK. That's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. UTC. If you're in the UK, if you're in Africa, that's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And of course, for those in North America, you have classes from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturdays. And every other Saturday, so you have classes every other Saturday, and then for the Saturdays you don't have classes, you have the self-paced watch me do it videos. Because at 10Alytics, you use a hybrid approach. We understand that for some of us, we prefer learning in a class where we are speaking with the facilitator, where we are asking questions, we're getting insights, we are learning, we're getting all of these things, which is great. So you have that where you have the live classes, you join a call like this, you're interacting, you're learning, gaining experience. And then for some of us, we prefer I would prefer being able to go back several times, being able to go back several times on a video, slowing it down, doing something over and over again. So you have the watch me do it videos for that. So both approaches are blended to ensure that you get the best out of the program. So that's for the class times, and of course the learning timeline is for 8 months, where you get to learn for 6 months. You have 6 months of learning and 2 months internship. 6 months of learning and 2 months internship. So, of course, business analysis, absolutely amazing. But if you are taking a look at agile project management, you want to be an agile project manager, then what are you going to be taking a look at? As an agile project manager, your duty is to ensure that you are coaching an agile team. Your duty is to ensure that everyone in an agile team is actually working towards the goal of achieving is actually working towards a project with the same goal in mind. As an Agile project manager, your duty is to ensure that you are having different iterations of a project to ensure that things are more flexible, you are more adaptable, you are more fast, and the project is delivered on time. As an Agile project manager, the tools that you're going to be working with, your Confluence, your Jira, your Trello, these are the two main tools. You get to understand your different Scrum events, from your sprint planning, your sprint retrospective, to your sprint review, all of those things. You get to understand how you can collaborate in a team, how you can ensure that the business analyst is working well with the product owner is working well with the developer is working well with the technical writer, ensuring that the team holds, which is a very, very great one. And as an Agile project manager, it's a very great one because you are learning the Agile framework, where you get to learn your Scrum, your Kanban, and your Lean. Because we have seen a shift where many organizations are now moving towards being agile companies and no longer just your traditional project management where you have the waterfall. The class times very, very similar. Classes on Sundays, and of course every other classes on Saturday, sorry, and every other Saturday you have the self-paced watch me do it videos. Learning timeline: 8 months, 6 months in class, and 2 months internship. You want to be a data engineer? What do you need to know? What does a data engineer do? A data engineer is someone that provides data. The data analyst needs data. The data scientist needs data. The HR analyst needs data. The financial analyst needs data. But where does this data come from? This is where the data engineer comes in. The data engineer ensures that you have the data leaving the actual source where it's being generated and it's being pushed to a database where the data analyst, the data scientist, everyone that needs the data, they can get access and they can work with this. For you to be able to work, for you to be able to build different pipelines as a data engineer, for you to be able to get the data from the source and push it to a database, the tools and technologies that you need to learn, that you need to know how to use, your SQL, which is your structured query language, to your Python, which is the bread and butter of every data engineer. You also have to understand your Linux to your Apache PySpark. Your PySpark is used for your big data processing. When you're talking about processing data of millions and millions and millions of rows, 500 million, a billion rows, okay, lots and lots of data, you use your PySpark. Then to your Apache Airflow. Your Apache Airflow, which you use in automating pipelines, in automating pipelines, where you've been able to build a pipeline that gets data from, let's say, an ATM or a POS, that's a point of sales, or a website, and pushes it to a database. But you don't want to have to be running this every single day because you will always want to be getting fresh data. So you don't want to have to manually do this every single day. So you can use Apache Airflow to automate your pipeline, where as soon as it's a certain time, the time you set, it runs your flow and it gets the fresh data from the data source and pushes it to the database. To your draw.io, which of course you learn for your EROD, that's your diagrams, how you can build all of that for you to be able to have great data models. To your GitHub Copilot, and also your Chat GPT for a data engineering. You get to classes are on Saturdays, and of course you have the self-paced watch me do it videos. Learning timeline, very, very similar. 8 months of learning, 6 months in class, and 2 months internship. You want to be a data analyst. Data analytics, very, very interesting. A data analyst is a professional that ensures that the company makes sense of their data. Because now, in this day and age, every company relies on data. No one cares about what you said. No one cares about opinions. If we have data, let's look at data. And if all we have are opinions, then let's go with mine. That's a data quote. Probably you've heard of it, maybe not. For you to be a data analyst, the things you need to know, the tools you need to know how to work with. Tools like your problem. So first of all, you have to understand problem solving. The different problem solving frameworks, different problem solving methodologies, from the QuipsDM framework to the 5 whys, the Pareto principle, the decision tree, all of these things. You need to know how you can use data in solving problems. Then you have your Excel. You get to learn Excel, intensive Excel. Understanding how Excel can be used in analytics and a lot more. To your Power BI and your Tableau, which are both business intelligence tools. So you get to learn both of them. So it doesn't matter what the company says they need. Oh, I need someone that can work with Tableau. No problem. You are good to go. Oh, I need someone that can work with Power BI. No problem. You are good to go as well. And and then the next thing you learn is your SQL. That's your structured query language, which is a language that you use for interacting with databases. For me, I don't think SQL is coding really, okay, because it's very, very simple. It's all English. So SQL, you get to learn SQL, then you have your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics and also your ChatGPT for analytics. The class times similar, where you have classes on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time for those in Europe, UK, Africa, and for those in North America, you have classes from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday. And every other Saturday, you have the Watch Me Do It videos from the 10Alytics LMS, which you'll be onboarded into as soon as you're part of the program. And then for the learning timeline, 8 months, 6 months of learning, 2 months internship. You want to be a data scientist. What does that mean? What does it mean to be a data scientist? A data scientist takes it a step a notch from where the data analyst stops. The data analyst focuses on two main kinds of analytics: your diagnostic analytics and your descriptive analytics. Your descriptive analytics talking about what actually happened in the business. How many customers did we have? How much did we make? What's our revenue? How many products did we sell? Those kind of things. That's descriptive. You're taking a look at historical data to identify patterns. And then you have your diagnostic analytics. Your diagnostic analytics is you now being able to answer things like, why did it happen? Okay, we made 5 million last month. Why did we make 5 million last month? Okay, we made $10,000 in a day in sales. Why did we make $10,000 in a day in sales? That's now the diagnostic analytics. That's what the data analyst focuses on. The data scientist now adds an additional kind of analytics called the predictive analytics. The predictive analytics is now when you are able to see the future. The predictive analytics is when you become the Terminator. The predictive analytics is when you're able to go into the future and save John Connor or Sarah Connor. If you watch the Terminator series, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah. What that means is that you are able to predict the future. You are able to take a look at the company's data and build models that will be able to predict that in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, this is the amount of money we're going to make. We're either going to have an increase or a decrease. You are seeing into the future. So that is what the data scientist does. And for you to be able to do all of those things, for you to get the powers of future sight, okay, you need to understand how to work with different tools. First of all, your statistics. You have to understand statistics, how you can work with your mean, your median, your mode, and a couple of other things. It's not just the statistics that you learn in school. While it's that, now you get to understand how you can apply statistics in a business, and not just you are learning statistics for statistics sake. No, but now you get to understand what does the mean mean and what is the impact of the mean and the median when you're taking a look at business figures. And then you have to learn your Excel for your predictive analytics, how you can use Excel for forecasting, to your Tableau, your SQL, you learn your Python, you learn how you can build your machine learning models that will help you carry out your predictions, understanding your supervised learning, your unsupervised learning, to your GitHub for Copilot, and also your Microsoft Fabrics. And don't forget ChatGPT for analytics. And the timeline similar, classes on Saturdays, you also have the self-paced watch me do it videos. And then learning timeline, 8 months, 6 months in class, 2 months internship. Financial analytics. You want to be a financial analyst. What does it mean to be a financial analyst? A financial analyst is a data analyst, but as a financial analyst is a data analyst that focuses on what? On financial data. Just like when you go to the hospital, just like in medicine, you have the GP, which is the general practitioner, and you have the surgeon, which is most likely a specialist, right? So they are both doctors. The general practitioner is a doctor, so maybe you have a patient that's having stomach ache, a headache, a backache, a leg ache, or just general body issues. They go to what? The GP. And then if maybe there's a problem, maybe there's a problem with the hand or the problem with the bone, and that is more than what the GP can work on, then the person is most times referred to a specialist, in most cases the surgeon. And then you have different surgeons specialized in several areas. Surgeons of the bones, your ophthalmologist, you have surgeons that are specialized in the ear, nose, and throat. You have surgeons for the eyes. You have surgeons for the you have surgeons that are specialized in different areas. And are they both doctors? Yes. Can the surgeon actually carry out some functions of the GP? Yes. Can the GP carry out some functions of the surgeon? Yes. Maybe not in depth, but similar. So that's both roles. Just like the GP, just like the surgeon is more specialized in this area and might not be able to do everything the GP can do, that's the same case. And that's what it means to be a financial analyst. The data analyst in my analogy is the GP. The data analyst analyzes general business data, but the financial analyst is also a data analyst, just like the surgeon is also a doctor. But the data analyst that focuses on what? Financial data, helping the organization protect their financial health, helping the organization know investment that they should get into, helping to ensure that the organization is making money and has very good money. It's not all about making money sometimes, but that the money health is very, very good. Okay. Understanding how to work with things, how to carry out things like evaluation, building financial models, and a couple of other things. Of course, since you have to learn your problem solving, Excel, Power BI, SQL, because again, you are a data analyst, and then you move into your core financial analytics module, understanding what accounting means to your financial analysis, your financial modeling, your valuation, and all of other things. Classes same, your timeline also the same. And for you to be an HR analyst, like the financial analyst, the HR analyst is also a data analyst. Yes, you got that right. And the HR analyst is a data analyst that focuses on what? On HR data, on people data, helping the organization reduce attrition, helping the organization improve employee satisfaction, helping the organization bring in improve talent retention, helping the organization improve recruitment process. Okay, so that is what the HR analyst does, and all of these things are done with data. So gone are the days where all HR was okay, you want to go on leave, or you want to it's payday. Okay, HR has transcended that. HR is now even more, and that is the reason why in HR data is now involved, and that's what makes you a HR analyst. Your problem solving, of course, your Excel, your SQL, your Power BI. Then you move into your HR analytics and dashboarding, your HR metrics and lifecycle, collaborative and reporting automation, how you can build your case and create action as a HR analyst. Classes, same. And of course, the learning timeline, 8 months, 6 months of learning, 2 months internship. But maybe you're interested in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is an area that you've been looking to get into. For cybersecurity, who is a cybersecurity? Who is a cybersecurity analyst? A cybersecurity analyst is a professional that prevents unauthorized access that prevents unauthorized access to the company's networks, the company's data, all of those things. A cybersecurity analyst is just like it's like a policeman, okay, preventing people from doing harm. Okay, a cybersecurity analyst is that middleman protecting the company's resources, the company's network, the company data from outside threats. And in this cybersecurity program at 10Alytics, you are going to be learning 4 different areas. You are going to be learning 4 different areas, so that it doesn't matter the area that you want to get into, you can always get a job. So you get to learn SOC analysis, to your threat intelligence, your penetration testing, and also your GRC, which is your governance, risks, and compliance. We saw a project on cybersecurity today that was SOC analysis. There is also another aspect called your threat intelligence to your pen testing. Your pen testing are more like your ethical hackers, people that are looking to trying to find openings in the company system so that the company can fix it. That's your pen testers. Then you have your SOC analysts, who are more like your defenders with your shield, okay, trying to protect the company from incoming attack, like no one is coming here, okay, no one is coming here. And then you have the pen testers that want to look, oh, there must be a place I can enter in this organization, there must be a loophole so that the company can fix that loophole, okay? It's not so they can get unauthorized access, okay? So that the company can fix that loophole to prevent outside access. Then you have your GRC, which is all about your policies, your cybersecurity policies, understanding, ensuring that the company is compliant with the government when it comes to cyber risks and all of those things. Things that you get to need to learn how to work with, tools that you'll be working with, tools like your Wireshark, your VMware, your Metasploit, your Azure, your QRadar, your Microsoft Defender, of course, so many tools. Okay, timeline, same, and of course your classes on Saturdays. So these are all of the skills that you need to know to be in any of the programs, from data analytics to cybersecurity, everything that I've mentioned. So now that you've been able to take a look at the skills, so what next? You've learned the skills. How then are you going to get a job? For you to get a job, you need to complete the job equation. And what is the job equation? Is the T plus the E. You probably have a friend, you probably know someone that has been looking to transition, or rather, that has claimed to have learned the skills. They learned the skills, they learned how to work with Python, they learned how to work with Excel 5 years ago. Until now, they have no job in tech. You might be thinking, so what would make me different from my friend? If I go ahead to learn, wow, will I get the job when this friend could not get the job? That is because the job equation was not complete. For you to be able to get a job, you need not only the technical skills, you also need the employability skills. These two things together will land you the job. When one is missing, you don't get a job. That is the situation of things. And that is what we know. And that is the reason why many of our participants always go ahead to land the role of their dreams. And because of that, because of what we know, because our goal is to ensure that you are able to transition, that you achieve your goals, you achieve your dreams, things that you thought were not possible becomes possible with 10Alytics, right? The fact that we thought, the fact that we wanted to be able to do all of these things, that is the reason why, in addition to the technical skills that you'll be learning, you also get additional services which should help you out with your employability skills. From CV review and revamp, will help you review your CV, would help you revamp your CV, and will teach you how you can also revamp your CV from when you are trying to apply to different jobs, using different job applications, using different job descriptions, and all of that. Ensuring that your CV is ATS worthy, and not just ATS worthy, but that your CV actually gets to the that when the recruiter sees your CV, they know that you are the one I want to interview. And of course, you have the LinkedIn optimization, helping you ensure that your LinkedIn is well optimized, because LinkedIn is the Facebook of professionals. You have recruiters on LinkedIn, people looking to hire individuals, and for different projects that they have to work on. So if your LinkedIn profile, and nowadays it's even advisable that when you're applying to jobs, you want to add in your LinkedIn link, your LinkedIn profile link to your CV. So if your LinkedIn profile is not well optimized, then there's probably a problem. Okay, there's most likely a problem. So you have to ensure that your LinkedIn is well optimized, and we'll show you how you can go through all of that so that you start attracting recruiters to you, and you even start getting jobs that you did not even know existed, that you did not even apply to. And then, of course, navigating the job market. For some of us, we just moved to the UK, we just moved to Canada, we just moved to the US, we just moved to Poland, we just moved to Australia, and we have no idea, we have no clue how the job market functions. So what we do is that we bring in tech recruiters from Silicon Valley, people that you are actually applying to job, people that you're actually sending in your CV. We bring them to sessions to tell you about things that they look out for in CVs, both the red flags and the green flags, so that you know what to put in your CV and for you to get jobs. Because many people think that a recruiter spends, let's say, 5 minutes, 6 minutes taking a look at a CV. That's wrong. The average time any recruiter spends on a CV is 2 to 6 seconds, meaning that there are certain things they're looking at for. If they don't find it, on to the next one. Okay, because no one spends time reading your CV like a book. So all of those things you placed, if you think that's what they're going to read, nope, 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 nope. So there are certain things you need to put, because there are lots of CVs they need to take a look at. So you get to hear from the horse's mouth, as they say, so you know how you can structure your CVs and get a job. So interview preps. So you've been able to go through all of those things. You've had your CV reviewed, your LinkedIn optimized, you've gone through navigating the job market, and you've been able to get an interview. We don't just stop there. You can always reach out to us. You can book a one-on-one interview session with a professional that will take you through everything you need to know on how you can you can actually land that job, because our goal is not just for you to get an interview, but that you actually get the job. So you get to understand how you can answer questions about yourself, to talking about experience, to working on technical interviews. And yeah, 2 job reference letters. You've gotten the job, but the recruiter wants you to provide some sort of reference. No problem. As long as you're a participant or an alumnus with 10Alytics, you are sure of getting a reference letter from us. And also, a great thing is that due to the fact that you are going to be learning with 10Alytics, and your internship, your 2 months internship is going to be with Amdari, you can place Amdari and 10Alytics on your CV. And so you can get a reference from either 10Alytics or Amdari when the time comes. And I don't think it's better, it gets better, okay, than that. And of course, you have on the job support. You've gotten the job, but things are not so clear. You can always reach out to us to provide guidance, to tell you, okay, what you need to do so you can go back to work to do amazing well. 2 weekly mentorship, whereby week in, week out, we bring in professionals, people that have been able to succeed where you're looking to succeed, telling you what they did that helped them to succeed, so you can do those things and so you succeed. And so that the things that they also did that delayed their success, they get to tell you those things so you don't do them, so your success is 2x. You want to have those. Mentorship is very, very important. I can't count the number of requests I get on a daily about, oh, please, I need you to mentor me. I need you to mentor me. And I understand. Mentorship is important because with mentorship, you know the right things to do. You have people that have made the mistakes telling you their experience so you can achieve your goals faster, which is a great one if you ask me. And of course, Upwork optimization. For some of us, we want to freelance. We're interested in freelancing. The Upwork optimization session would show you how you can be a successful freelancer, how you can have a great profile, how you can ensure that you're writing outstanding proposals, how you can ensure that your proposals are being viewed by clients, how you can ensure that clients are reaching out to you for gigs. All of these things put together is what will help you land that job. And like I said, you will have a unique opportunity of placing 10Alytics and also Amdari on your CV. So what are the next steps? The next steps for you to register. And our next cohort starts in a few days' time, May 10th. So you need to jump on this as quickly as possible. Registration is going to end very, very soon. So you want to go ahead to register as quickly as possible. And how can you register? By going ahead to register. So the full amount for you to be a part of any of our programs, from data analytics to business analysis down to HR project management, is $900. Okay, but at the moment we are currently running a discount for the first 20 persons to register, and trust me, that discount slot is filling very, very fast. I think the last time I checked, we had about 2 slots left in most of the programs, because of course it's 20 for every program. So we had about 2 slots left in most of the programs. So you want to ensure that you jump on that as quickly as possible, so you get to pay $750 instead of your what? Your $900. Okay, and how can you make payments? Easy. Once my colleague is going to send the link to make payments to the chat box, and once you click on that link, it's going to take you it's going to open up the 10Alytics Environment Center. And once you come over here, you're going to see where you can chat with 10Alytics. So you can click on this to chat with 10Alytics, and maybe you're having issues making payment, and we'll guide you on everything that you need to do, so you can go ahead and make payment. And then over here, you can get access to all our program brochures. You want to understand what every program offers, so you can click on this. And when you scroll down, you find all of the different programs you can register for. So let's say you want to register for cybersecurity. So over here, you have cybersecurity, and then you click on register for cybersecurity. And this is going to bring you over to this point. Okay, this is going to bring you over to this point where, okay, give me a moment. Okay, so this is going to bring you over to this point where you can go ahead to make payment. And the great thing about this is that you can break your payment into the multiple installments. So maybe you're not looking to pay the entire thing for now. So you can go come in here and break it down into, let's say, 5 installments where you get to pay $150 every month for 5 months. And the beauty of this is that if you actually do qualify for the discount, And that after you qualify for the discount, you decide, you know what, I want to make the full payment. Okay, you qualify for the discount and you say, I want to make the full payment. I don't want to pay in installments. You get to have an extra $50 off. So you are supposed to pay $750. Because you are paying a one-time payment or you decide to break the payment into only 2 installments, you get an extra $50 taken off. Okay, so but if maybe you want to pay in 4 installments, 2 installments, 5 installments, no problem. So you get, and you qualify for the discount, you get to pay $750. So you can break that down into $150 every month or $250 every month if you are going for the 3 months program. After you select the tranche you want to go with, then you click on secure your seat. And what that will do for you, it will take you to a page where you insert your details, and then you decide if you want to make payments using your card, or if you want to make payments using a transfer. So once you make payments, a receipt will be sent to you via email. Attached to that receipt will be a link for you to complete your registration. So you can click on that link to complete your registration, or you can come over here and you see upload your receipt. So you click on upload your receipt here, you fill in the details, you upload your receipt, and then after you've done that, you will get a confirmation email from us confirming your payment, in addition to your welcome kit and everything that you need to be a part of the program. So the next cohort starts May 10th. Registration is going to start very soon. It's going to close very soon, sorry. And so you want to see how you can jump on that quickly, how you can be a part of that as much as possible. Because trust me, it's amazing. It's really is amazing. So this is what we're going to be ending today. I don't know if I have questions. Maybe I might be able to take a question or two, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so I think no questions. So if you have a question, you could also use the raise hand icon, and I will call on you to ask your question. Okay, so I don't think I have questions, no problem. So if you have questions later on, you can always, okay, so Nancy, yeah, you can go ahead to ask your question. So I can see someone asking, do we issue certificates at completion? Yes, you're going to get certificates. Okay, so at 10Alytics, we are very firm believers of skills over certification, because to be honest, recruiters don't care about certificates. Your skills is what we get to the job, to be honest. But yes, you're going to get certificates, and the certificate you're going to be getting is globally recognized, because we are accredited with the ACTD, that's the American Council for Training and Development. So you're going to have that stamp on your certificate, which of course it's going to be a great one. So yes, you'll be getting certificate at the end of the program. Okay, Nancy, you said you have a question. Do you want to ask a question? So you can use the raise hand icon so I can ask you to unmute. Do I have a session in June? Okay, yes, we have a session in June. We have sessions we have cohorts that start every month. So yes, there's a cohort for June. But what you want to do, you want to try to make payments quickly, because we really can't guarantee if the discount is still going to run for the month of June. So what you can do is that you can go ahead to make payments now, and then you defer to start in June. That is allowed as well, so that you are sure of locking into your discounts, and there's not a time where you go ahead to register and then you see that there's no more discounts and that you have to pay the full amount. Okay, so I'm interested in one of the programs. I'm not ready for this Monday, so can you make payment now, Andre? Yes, B. Yes, you can do that. Yes, you can do that. You can make payments now, and you can join next for next quarter. Yes, you can do that. So once you make payments, when you are going ahead to fill in the registration form, there will be a place where that's asking you when would you like to start. So what you just do is that you select next month. So Nancy's asking, can we have a job that gives certificates of sponsorship in the UK? Yes, 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 and yes. Many of our participants we've been able to help transition getting jobs with full sponsorship in the UK. From ICMATs that we're able to help get a job with the NHS. That's working as a data analyst with the NHS. Of course, that role came with full sponsorship. To Tony, to Ramat as well. So many people that we've been able to help. Something that we also do is that week in, week out, you will be getting job updates And this job update will cover sponsorship roles, because what we've been able to do at 10Alytics is that there are job sites that offer sponsorship roles, but of course you have to subscribe to this site. You have to make a monthly payment. And so what we've done is that we've made those payments, and so we scrape the jobs and we provide it to our participants. So week in, week out, you know that you're going to be getting sponsorship roles. Now, this is not roles that will tell you, oh, maybe they offer sponsorship. So during the interview, just tell them that, oh, please, would you take me for sponsorship? Would you offer me a sponsorship? No, you know from the start that yes, this role actually does offer sponsorship. So yes, to your question, Nancy, what course would you recommend for a nurse that wants to transition? Okay, so if it's there, all of the programs are great. Okay, but for this question, I would prefer. I believe that for your question to be answered, there are a lot of details that I would need, like your strong points, your background, what you feel comfortable doing. So what I would advise you to do instead, Ife, is that to go ahead to book a session, a clarity session. How can we help you get a job? That's what it's titled. And in that session, you get to speak with professionals, have that conversation with them. It's a Q&A session, and then you get to answer your questions, and they will guide you on the best path for you. Okay, so all you need to do, just reach out to and take a look at the community. The link to book a session should be sent there, or you can reach out to any of the admins in the tech community and ask that, please, I would like to speak to a professional, and they will send you a link that you can book that session, so you can have that one-on-one and you can ask questions and get clarity, so we get to select the best path for you, Ife. Okay, so I see Nancy's asking a similar question. So same thing for you, Nancy. Okay, so just go ahead to book that session. Okay, just go ahead to book that session. The link will also be sent to the chat box, but if it's not sent to the chat box on the tech community, just ensure you signal, reach out to any of the admins. Just take a look, and so you can sessions at different times from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. to 12 p.m. to 8, at different times. So you should be able to find a session for you. Okay, yeah, I guess that's all. Thank you everyone for being a part of the session today. I believe you had an amazing time. For one, I can tell you I did have an amazing time. Please ensure you go ahead to register as quickly as possible, because we don't like to procrastinate. And there's something that we tell our kids each and every time, and that is quick, says the clock. Whatever you have to do ensure you do quick. See you some other time.